Hey blockheads, this is DJ AK from NK Airplay Radio, and if you love what the My So-Called Whatever podcast crew is doing, check us out too. NK Airplay is an online radio station playing all your favorite hits from the 80s and 90s, especially the ones from those boys in the band, New Kids on the Block. Listen to artists like Boyz II Men, Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, boy bands, girl bands, and many more. We play artists that are associated with or who inspired the New Kids on the Block, plus some of the artists that inspired us while we were growing up. Check us out on social media at NK Airplay Radio. And download the Live 365 app for your iPhone or Android phone and listen today.
Friends forever, that's what we are. Through the thick and the thin, we're friendship stars. We're banger main buddies from the days of old. We laugh, cry, and hug, friendship solid gold. My so-called whatever started a year ago. We share our stories and your stories were told. 80s, 90s memories that give us glee. And on the block party shows, NKOTB. Now our friendship circle has grown by far. Hashtag friends forever, that's what we all are. Boom. And if you don't know, now you know. My so-called whatever for life. Hashtag MSCW. Hashtag friends forever. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Brooke.
Hey, Nikki. How's
What's
it going?
Not
much.
No, not much.
I mean, it's kind of an exciting night / day whenever people might be listening to this.
I mean, come on now. What kind of life do we lead? Like, is this real life? Is this real life? Did we really just talk to Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees?
We did. And we're doing the intro now after talking to him.
That's correct. Sorry. Yes.
So that's that.
We have a very special guest for you. Obviously, it's Jeff Timmons.
Right. From 98 Degrees.
Right. And he was so gracious and just an amazing guest. He was perfect.
Totally cool.
Yeah.
Totally cool. Loved having him. Hope to have him again. But
Yes.
you'll listen to it and you'll hear it. You'll hear how cool he is.
You will. You absolutely will.
Down to earth.
And, afterwards you'll get what this means, but go listen to The Hardest Thing on repeat. Just saying.
Why not? Just put it on repeat and go to
Or
bed.
Invisible Man, right before you go to sleep.
Put it on repeat and go on AOL.
You guys will understand what we're saying. You might not now. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. That's okay.
But after you listen to this episode, you will.
That is the truth. So should we start the episode for them?
Here it is.
Here it is. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. This is Brooke.
This is Nikki.
And I'm Jeff from 98 Degrees.
Yay!
And this is my so-called whatever.
Hey guys.
Hey,
we are special guest.
We are so excited to have Jeff here.
I'm not a new kid, so I know that I'm down on the totem pole. I don't know which follow after that, but nonetheless appreciative that I'm in the mix today with you guys. So thank you, I appreciate it.
No, we're very excited.
We have a great appreciation for all boy bands.
Yes.
And man bands and everything that you are and have been and will be in the future. We are so excited to have you here. And I love that we can see your tattoo.
Yeah.
Well, look,
I love it.
For many years after, there was a time when our time frame, so the new kids are sort of like a generation before us, right? And then our time frame was in the late 90s to early 2000s. And then, radio decided, they made a conscious effort. They're like, no more boy bands, no more of this pop stuff. We're sick of it. And then our fans started to grow up a little bit. And there was a time when I was, afraid to show my tattoo. I was a little bit embarrassed by it and out in public would get ridiculed about it. So I had it covered up. And I met my wife many years later, who is, proudly a New Kids fan. When I met her, she had no idea who I was or what group I was in, which I kind of liked. But as we were progressing in our relationship, her whole thing was like, you need to show that tat. You need to be proud of, 98 Degrees and all the things and the success that you were able to accomplish. And I'm like, yeah, we did create the group. We did have a ton of success. It is something that we started from scratch that not a lot of people get to do or get to, experience in their lives. I should be proud of it. She's right. So, it's funny how you sometimes get in your own head about stuff like that. But nonetheless, bam, there it is.
I love it. So. I love it.
I love it so, so much. And you mentioned your wife, and we saw that you actually met her at a Jordan Knight event. It was Jordan Idol, right?
It was Jordan Idol, and Jordan and I used to be really close. We're not as much anymore because he's back with his group, and we don't see each other as much. And his life's a lot different now than it was back then. But we were all kind of just doing these little club tours together. It was myself and him and one of the guys from O-Town, and Brian Abrams would occasionally join us. But we had done this little club tour and theater tour and all that stuff together. And he called me up and he was like, look, would you come be a judge for Jordan Idol? And I was going through a divorce at that time. And so I was sharing custody of my kids. And so I had my kids during the day that day, and I had to teach them, do their homework with them and all that. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it, man. And he was like, come on, I need you to do it. So I was like, all right, look, I can drive in. I lived in Orange County, and this was in LA. And I was like, I can drive in for a couple hours. I can hang out with you for a little bit, but I can't stay that long. So I drove up there, and he was doing his meet and greet thing, and she was there. She had a table with some of her friends, and I thought she was kind of cute. So I was like, all right, let me go over and talk to her, try to chat her up. So I was trying to be all smooth and cool, and she was like ignoring me. I was like, oh, okay, wow, this is playing hard to get. And she was a real wise ass when I was talking to her. She was really, I'm like, wow, this one's really a feisty one, right? And one of her friends was like, don't you know who that guy is? And she's like, no. She's like, that's one of the guys from 98 Degrees. And she's like, what do you want, a cookie? I don't care. She really didn't care about it, which wasn't what I had been used to. I'm used to have been in the group. And so it was easier to meet girls because we were somewhat famous. And so that was never an issue because, we were a popular group. But with her, I found it interesting and that it was a challenge. But I almost didn't go to that. So just think about how much different my life would be right now had I not gone. I mean, I thought at the very last minute I'd go. I spent a very little bit of time there, and I left, and she followed me out. She'll never say that that's what happened, but she followed me out. And she was like, where are you going? And I was like, I got to go teach my kids spelling. I got to go home and work with them on their homework. And then we exchanged. At that time, Twitter was the deal. So that's how it was a safe way to have exchanges. And then she makes the comment that I followed her like instantly as soon as but that story is up for debate. But that's how we met. That was a long-winded way to talk about it. But yeah, and I'm happy, very happy that happened. I'm very, very blessed that I made that decision to go to that thing because it changed my life forever.
That's amazing. I love it.
I'm so glad you went.
Yes.
Me too. I've got a beautiful family. My life is different. She changed my life. She was a big support system for me. And I just can't imagine what in another dimension, what would have happened had I not gone to that. So that's how sometimes like one thing, one decision can make such a big impact on your life.
Oh, for sure.
It's amazing. Yeah. And she's a New Kids fan, so
yes, we love her. We love her already.
We love her already.
I mean, look, we were on the road with the New Kids, and she was more interested in watching them than us. But hey, you can't have everything. So
that's funny. Oh my gosh.
So we're kind of interested just to hear about how 98 Degrees came to be.
Well, look, I mean, it's out there, but I'm happy to talk about it. We weren't one of those groups that were assembled, and there are a lot of those out there, and they're all talented guys. So I don't look thumb my nose at that and look down upon those types of groups. But we put ourselves together. I started the group in college with some other guys at a party, and was trying again, always about girls, always trying to impress girls. We thought we were great. We impressed the girls. We went back to our dorms, or they lived in an apartment. I was squatting with them. It was some guys I knew from high school, and I'm like, why don't we start a group? And they were like, what, a real group? And I'm like, yeah. I kind of had some background in choir, and we started to gain a little momentum locally. Decided to make that drive to LA because there was no social media. You had to go to LA or New York or Nashville to make it. Went to LA. started, singing a cappella every place, and started getting the attention of some people in Los Angeles, like producers and record labels. And ultimately the guys I originally started the group with, they got nervous. I'm from a really small town in Ohio. It was getting real too fast for them. And they kind of went home and never came back. And so I decided to stay in LA. I was hell bent on making sure that this happened. It was too much reinforcement and too much energy that felt good. And it seemed like it was destined to happen for me. That's the way it seemed to me. It could be insanity. Some would say, say it's crazy, but I started trying to find other guys, and you'd think in LA I would be able to find more guys, but it was actually another guy from Ohio that introduced me to Nick via a tape, like an audio tape, a cassette tape. Like, you guys are new kids.
Oh yeah.
Cassettes, and I listened to Nick's voice. He was singing in a local bar band in Cincinnati with his friend Justin, and I thought it was incredible, and called him up and talked him into coming to LA without even seeing what he looked like, So he came out there. I was like, his voice, that's what I need. And sure enough, he came out. He brought Justin out, and eventually his brother joined, and we were heavily influenced by Boyz II Men. That's no secret. We went to their concert, wanted to get backstage and get discovered like they did. We were able to get backstage, and we got discovered not by them, but a guy that eventually was our manager for a little while, and we got signed to Motown, just like they were signed to Motown. And then eventually with the New Kids, we toured with them. So It's been a real dream for me. I've really, it's been a blessing, and it's sort of cosmic and, a fairy tale for me. And so I've enjoyed every minute of it, and never take it for granted. Haven't taken it for granted in one instance. So I know how fortunate I am throughout the whole process.
I love the story because, like you said, you weren't assembled. You were the one that started it. And it's really cool that you started off with guys that, are no longer part of 98 Degrees. And it just kind of evolved into this awesome group.
Thank you. We've been really fortunate. And, look, those guys that kind of left the group, I've always been a fan of their talent. So I stayed in touch with them and have written songs with them and tried to include them as much in the journey as I can. Now, look, they're a different group of guys than 98 Degrees, and 98 Degrees went on to become something completely different, but it wasn't in the cards for those guys. But nonetheless, they're still talented, and we write songs every day together, believe it or not.
That's really cool.
I've still been able to maintain a friendship and a working relationship with those guys.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, you always wonder, like, what happened? What are they doing now? But you kept that relationship with them, and you keep doing stuff with them.
Yeah, it's been cool.
We loved the package tour.
Yeah, let me just tell you that we loved the package tour. When I found out that you guys were going to be with them, it was like a dream come true, because I've been a fan. I love 98 Degrees. I used to play your CD like too much.
Well,
if that's possible. That's possible.
So it was like 90, it was 99.
Yeah, it was 99.
It was 99. We had an apartment together, and this was back, like, not everybody had a computer,
right?
But in 99, but Nikki had a computer in her bedroom, so a big old desktop. And so at night she'd go to bed and listen to The Hardest Thing on repeat, like just over and like I'm telling you, all night long.
Every night.
And I would go in and go on like AOL, and I would listen to The Hardest Thing on repeat every night. So anytime I hear that song, it brings me back to her bedroom in 1999.
Right. Oh my gosh.
With the posters and everything. It was.
I mean, I love hearing stories like that. And it's interesting to hear that, because, we almost didn't even record that song. And that's what's funny about it. And that's probably, I Do is the one that sort of transcended and lived the longest, because it's a wedding song. But Hardest Thing was really the song that really started propelling us into, like, that at that time, that superstardom. So it's funny that that was like, they wanted us to record one more song, and we had a bunch to choose from. And that sort of was like, the lyrics, they're kind of corny, and the tracks kind of corny. But you know what? We recorded it, and everybody was like, man, that might be the best one on there. So I love hearing that you guys, you're not always right as an artist, right? Sometimes other people are right. And in that case, and it turned out to be, a good thing for us.
Oh yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I loved Invisible Man too. I did the same thing with that song. So, I mean, I would play play the CDs like constantly. And so I'm very familiar with your music, and I never got to see you guys back in the day.
Right.
Because it was like 2001, right? You guys kind of took a break.
A long break.
Yes,
Yeah.
11-year break. We took a long time. Yeah. So it's 11, 12 years.
Yeah. So when you came back and you were going to be with New Kids, like, I was so excited.
Well, that was an honor for us because I was in junior high when New Kids came out, right? I was jealous of those guys. So and at that time, the idea I would be in a similar type of group had never occurred to me in a million years. So to be, opening up for those guys and being on the same bill with Boyz II Men, who I just completely was like, I want to be a version of that group, another vocal group that stacks harmonies and stuff like that, sings love songs. For us to be kind of bookended by those two legendary acts, I mean, that's a true honor for anybody to be a part of. And all of us have different fan bases, and we were able to get in front of everybody else's fans and gain new fans and all that stuff. So it was a real honor and exciting time for us as well. I mean, it was our first time back, and what a way to go out on a sold out arena tour. We each had our own tour bus with our families on it. I had my kids on with me, and at that time, newborn baby on tour, and of course my wife, who didn't want to be on my bus, but probably Donnie Wahlberg's bus. Joe McIntyre. I have no idea which guy that she really likes because she doesn't tell me, but it was a fun time. I'm messing around, but we had a blast.
Maybe we need to get her on the podcast.
She's actually texting me now. Yeah. So her ears must be burning.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun, though. That's so good that you got to bring your families. I mean, that's the best of both worlds right there.
It was totally cool.
That tour introduced me to another song that I also played on repeat, which was Microphone. Love that song so much. Which, I mean, usually I go for the ballads. Like I'm a ballad type of girl, but that song, let me just tell you, that was.
Well, I'm glad you like that. That one was different for us. It was an up-tempo song, and it's interesting because your fans sort of have a certain idea about you, and so they, especially when it comes to music, they really don't expect you to go outside of what they expect in your style. That one's a little, it's a little risque. It's got a lot of innuendo in the song.
Yes.
I love the song. As soon as I heard it, I was like, this is a smash. We got to do it. But it's interesting because it didn't really catch on like we thought. And it wasn't because the song's not good. It's because 98 Degrees is coming back and they're singing a racy, sexy song and it's tempo. And so people didn't embrace it as much, particularly the media and radio. But I hear it all the time. Oh my gosh, that's the song. Can you guys do Microphone? And because it might not have been as a commercial success as the others, all the group's usually reluctant to perform it. But I feel the same way. I think the song is a smash, and it's always fun to get in up on stage and do the routine to that one as well. So
I just saw your little girl in the background.
Hi.
I just need to somehow get her back connected on Roblox.
Yeah, then you're good. Yeah.
Then we'll be good.
I know the feeling. It's Roblox for me. It's Fortnite. It's Call of Duty. I mean, it's a bunch of them. So I get it.
Yeah. So sorry about that. It's just.
Oh no, please. This is the life. This is the COVID life right now, right?
Yes, it is.
So everybody, you do your business at home and with your families, and which I've really enjoyed because I've been able to venture off and do different things. But I completely get it and understand.
How old are your kids now?
Oh my gosh! So it goes 22, 21, 19, 15, and 9.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 10. Sorry.
That's great.
I love it. Yeah, well, we're a blended family. So 2 step kids, 2 from a previous one together. Brady Bunch. We're like the Brady Bunch.
Oh, I love it. That's great.
And 3 of them are off to school, so that we're just left with our 15-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl. So, it's not as crazy as it once was over here, which I do miss it. I kind of miss the chaos, and the loudness, and running around and the fights and all that stuff. It's too quiet for me. So.
Yeah. So speaking of COVID, what kind of things have you done? Like, I know I watched something else where you said you were writing music almost every day. Are you still writing all kinds of music?
Writing all kinds of music, and look, I do that anyway, whether it's going to go on something or get placed in the TV show or go for another artist. And certainly I'd love for some of our stuff to get on 98 Degrees next project, but I have to do music. I usually do it from midnight, 1 o'clock at night until early in the morning, get a couple hours of sleep, then get up and do all these calls. But developing some television stuff, particularly some unscripted stuff. Been working on a couple of tech platforms, which are really, really interesting. And they're going to be emerging pretty soon. Next 2-3 months, I'll be releasing some press releases about those cool fan engagement types of things with artists. I mean, those are really relevant now that COVID's happened, but I think they'll transcend COVID and still be around afterwards, give fans and artists more chances to interact like this. It gives artists a chance to monetize their stuff without having to pay third parties like labels and all that other stuff. But also makes it really engaging for fans. Lots of cool and exciting features with that. That should be done pretty soon. Working with a couple of companies overseas in Japan on some really interesting emerging things that are groundbreaking with technology with artists outside of that. And just developing some TV stuff. I'm about to work on a documentary that's very, very interesting. I'm about to close the deal with that. So just trying to keep busy. So I had all these different irons in the fire, but was so spoiled with 98 Degrees going out on the weekends and doing the tours. I'm like, I'll get to those when I can. But COVID, half glass full for me. COVID is, look, it's horrible for anybody that's been sick or had a loved one lost, and certainly has been devastating to the economy. But I like to look at things in a positive light, and that it's given me more time, even more time to spend with my family, and more time to venture into some other things creatively and professionally that I probably wouldn't have done had this not happened. So it's a blessing in disguise with regards to those types of things. Certainly not making light of how devastating it's been and how crippling it's been to a lot of people. But I think it's allowed me to focus on some other things.
Like you said, it's been devastating, but it's interesting that you were able to make the best out of a bad situation that we have, and you're able to do all those things.
And I try to do that with everything. I mean, I'm not perfect, and certainly get down to have the ups and downs like everybody else, especially being an artist. You're creative. You guys know what it's like doing this form of entertainment. There are a lot of high highs and low lows, so I'm not immune to any of that stuff. But traditionally, I like to go and say, all right, let's make some lemonade out of the lemons. And that's the way I feel like I've been my whole life. And I've been taught that way from a young age with my parents. It's like you pivot, no matter how rough it is, try to find the silver lining, and then, dive into that. So that's what I've been trying to do during this pandemic.
Very cool. Thank you so much, by the way, for
being
so gracious.
It's a pleasure. Look, anybody who wants to hear me run my mouth, I'm happy that that's even exists nowadays. So usually it's like I talk to my wife and then, okay, well, I'll see you later. Hey, there's my kids. Hey, guys, they're going, oh, hey, mom. So I'm happy to get on and get the attention from.
Oh, this is great. I was like, oh my gosh, I was fangirling before we got on here, and I'm still fangirling. So that's why I'm kind of talking in circles, and everybody that listens know that that's what I do. I talk in circles. Usually Brooke's able to
reel it in.
You guys both compliment each other well. I can see the dynamic.
Yes.
Well, how cool that you two both have gotten to do this together too, and the journey with music and connecting you as well throughout the years. So that's really cool. That's one of the things I really like about, and of course we love to do the music and perform, but what is also a very big part is, watching our fan base and how they've connected with each other. I mean, that's a big part of it, right? As much as we love to think that you came to see us, you came to see each other and hang out with each other as well. So
that's true.
I love that whole part of it, and that subculture exists as a result of the music.
Yeah. So I know it's kind of soon to be talking about it, but I know you guys were right in the middle of a tour. So are you guys thinking you'll continue that after COVID?
Yeah, absolutely. Fortunately for us, we've got great fans. And so we've been able to, we didn't have to cancel all our dates, they just keep getting moved, right? So they're all on the books still. And certainly there have been opportunities to add more, but until it's safe for everybody to get back there and get back out there, and comfortable for everybody to get back out there, we'll just keep moving them. Keep them on the books. We fully intend to go out and perform together again, as long as we're having fun and as long as people are out there buying tickets and enjoying the music. We're going to keep doing it.
I'm excited. I'm going to try to see you guys this time. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, let me know.
This time around, we'll be there.
We'll be
You guys
there.
some passes so you can meet the other guys and all that good
Oh
stuff.
my God.
That'd be amazing.
I might like faint. So
She might.
You'll be okay.
But-
I might have to play the hardest thing on repeat before. So,
Get you in the mood, get you in the mind frame.
yeah.
So I was just gonna say, Nikki was talking about how she was fangirling a little bit before, like while we were waiting for you to come on, and she was fangirling and all that good stuff. But we were also we were looking at some old pictures
Yes.
from like
yes.
teen magazines. I know. And like the photo shoots, and Nikki brought up a really good like point or question about these photo shoots, because we've never asked anybody about them.
Okay.
And I think it's really important that we do.
Yeah. Fire away.
So, okay. When you look at these magazines, it looks like you guys were just always behind a camera, or in front of a
Right.
camera, I should say.
Right.
Constantly like going in for photo shoots. Or was it more like you went and did like a whole day and you had all these different like clothing changes, or not? I mean, just different shirtless poses.
Yeah.
And then they like sold them out to all the teen magazines,
It's
or
both. It's both. So we did those marathon days where you do 9 million outfits and then the photographer, farms them out to all the magazines. We did that, and we were always doing separate shoots for separate stuff. And I gotta tell you, like, that's my least. I know people love looking at themselves in pictures. I hate it. Like, I hate it. I don't like taking pictures. The process of it seems like so unnatural. I never like the way I look in the photos. Some people love it. Oh my God, I look amazing, and all that stuff. Not me. I hate it. And that's like, if I could do away, unfortunately you can't. You need to have your image out there. The marketing, unfortunately, is more important than the music, right? To be honest. So you got to have those out there. You need those assets to help your career move along or draw attention. But if I could do without doing one more photo shoot in my life, I would be so happy. I mean, it was never my. And look, it's with guys, and we're in our 20s, and they're having us point, and like we're 12-year-old guys. We're all like we're 22 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Bang, it's like, and we're all looking at each other like, what are we doing? We're from Ohio. Our friends are like in dorm rooms or working at the factory or have jobs at offices right now. Can you imagine if they saw us right now? Boom. Hey, Joe. Duck lips and everything else. But yeah, I mean, if I could do away with one facet of the business, it would be that one. But unfortunately, you gotta look good and make sure that you can draw them in with your photos. But yeah, marathon days and regular, shoots too.
Yeah, because that one we were looking at, I think you and Nick were shirtless, and the others were wearing this. It looked like a fisherman's like.
We've got jumpsuits, we've got space suits, we've got fisherman stuff, we've got plaid, we have gigantic balloon pants that look like hammer pants on steroids, we've got boots. I mean, it goes on and on and on. We have mustard colored suits on. I mean, it's like, who styled these guys?
Yeah, you did the like Old Navy commercial where you're like wearing ski gear.
Are these guys singers, or are they going to the extreme games? Which one?
Right.
It's so random, some of the styles and stuff like that. But that was what was cool, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
And I bought up the magazines, so you did it right.
we didn't do it right. Somebody else said, "Wear this."
Yeah,
like
right. This is what you're gonna do.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So your TikTok.
Oh,
Yes.
Get another. It's one zinger after the next, isn't it? First it's the close, and then my poor attempt at doing
No, we love it.
challenge. Well, look, I am the worst dancer, I think, out of all the boy bands, and especially our group. And so he put this challenge out. I'm not one to shy away from a challenge, but
Yeah.
it was to do a dance for one of the boy band songs and see if you could, the most signature part. And I tried to do the deal with the Backstreet's Back, and of course, I wanted to pick an easy one, but my wife's like, no, you got to show them, do that one, and I was so nervous and frustrated with that thing. I was practicing it, and so I was like, you guys go ahead. I'm going to practice for a couple hours. And I had this tutorial. This is how much I got into this thing.
This is
tutorial,
amazing.
and I'm watching it and I practice it. So I practiced and I think I got it. I practiced for about an hour and a half. She comes home and I'm like, want to see it? She's like, that's not the right dance. I learned the wrong dance. So I had to go back, start from scratch, do it again. And it's still a terrible attempt at it. And you can see, I don't read comments often, and this is why, because they're getting comments from their fan bases like, give it up. No wonder you guys couldn't dance, yada, yada, yada.
No.
But I did give it a shot. And I challenged Donnie Wahlberg and Nick Carter, and they didn't, and Joey Fatone. And Fatone said he was going to do it, but he hasn't done it yet. So we'll see. I'm glad.
I bet he'll do it. I bet he'll do it.
That failed attempt at dancing, but at least I gave it a shot.
You did great. I loved it. I loved it. When I saw you were on TikTok, I was like, yes.
Yeah, I need to get my TikTok skills up to speed. So. And
you're a new adapter too, because like a lot of the other people that we follow, they're not on TikTok.
Well, my youngest daughter, she insists that I get on with her. So she's sort of the culprit behind that whole deal.
Yeah, it's just a really cool way to, I think, like eventually when like it's more, they're not everybody's using it right yet, but it's going to be a really cool way for you to interact with your fans. And you already did that with one of the videos where someone was dancing.
Yeah,
and that was really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. You know what?
Yeah,
you gotta keep it light. To me, it's about just having fun. And look, I like the fans. We always wanted to really connect with our fans. And some groups are like, the fans are here, we're here. But for us, it's like we're a blue collar group, and hopefully folks think we're down to earth. It was really important for us to let the fans know that we appreciate them, and I think TikTok's a really cool vehicle to do that. So
I think so too. I really like that video because I just think being that person, if I had done the video, never in a million years would I think that someone would duet it, and then you do. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's what's cool about it.
I thought you did a great job on that dance.
Yes, yes, you did.
Just saying. I thought it was great, for the record. Better than I could do.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate even if you're lying, thank you. My ego feels a little bit better.
And you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's right. There's no doubt about it. Gotta go for it.
Just to talk about it, because it's going on right now, and there was some news that came out today about the Free Britney movement.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I feel like this is important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the Free Britney movement, obviously it's been in the news a lot. The documentary that I believe is in the New York Times series, Britney, it's made a lot of noise. And, frankly, those of us in the industry, and it's been in the public for quite some time, that Britney Spears has had this conservatorship for way longer than it should have been implemented and enforced. And, it seems like it's illegal, frankly. And so, for it to come into light, what's been going on with her. We toured with Britney way back in the beginning. She was always really sweet. Obviously, she blew up to the point where she was having, scrutinized for everything, and like everybody else, has normal breakdowns. And but I've always known her to be intelligent and talented and sweet and well put together. And so for something like that to happen is egregious. And like I said, it's horrific that that's gone on that long. And as soon as I saw the documentary, I'm like, it's going to be over soon. And sure enough, the timing, I'm sure they planned the timing right with the hearing that was on the books. And I couldn't be happier that, things are going to go back into her hands. Hopefully, I don't know all the details because it's just emerging news, but I'm thrilled that, Britney's going out there busting her ass in Vegas, making hundreds of millions of dollars for people, but she can't, can't control her own life, her own assets, her own future. I just thought it was totally ridiculous. And, as an artist that has had some of that stuff controlled by, labels or management companies and agencies, and, you just feel like, if you're out there, and certainly they all have their value of making you be able to have success, but, to have that personally controlled by someone in your family, that's just my opinion about it. I think it's crazy.
Yeah.
Agreed.
For our listeners, that was it was like breaking news right before we got on here that her father was removed from the
conservatorship.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. And, I can't wait to see you in concert.
Thank you.
I
I
know.
love and appreciate that you like the group and all the stories that you guys told with regards to the songs and playing them and supporting us and then coming to see us with new kids. That means everything to me. Like I said, myself, my group, we don't take any of this for granted. Like when I thought of this thing in college, I was like, I hope one day I can have this conversation with fans. And I certainly didn't think I'd be having them 25 years later. So I appreciate you both. I'm congratulations on this cool podcast. I wish you all the success in the world, and please have us all on at one point.
Yes.
I would love for the group to get to spend some time with you as well. So
that would be amazing.
Same.
Yes.
And we will see
we
you
appreciate
on
you
stage.
so much. Yes, we
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
you so much.
Love
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
That was fantastic.
That was great.
I talked in
was-
circles.
That was yeah, you did a little bit, but that's okay.
Brooke, I get so nervous.
That was good though. That was great.
So what did you think? Like, oh my gosh.
He's super nice and super like humble and down to earth.
Oh my gosh.
And I
know.
appreciate that. I like that. That was nice.
Me too. I really appreciate it.
And he's a cool guy.
I was so nervous. Like I just hope that eventually I get to be less nervous when I talk to people. I don't think that will ever happen.
I think it's like ingrained in you.
And
that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, we started talking about me listening to that song. And like I really did listen to that every night. And I loved it. And I love them. So it was just, it's really cool to meet somebody that you never ever thought you were going to meet, let alone have them on your podcast. That's amazing.
Right.
I'm just
well, that's
psyched
just
about
it. Like here to talk to us.
Right. What is
for
this life that
like
we're
our
living?
listeners.
Right.
For our listeners.
Right. What is this life that we lead?
It's really cool.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's really fun. We are very #blessed.
We are very #blessed.
So
I'm speechless.
So that was amazing.
It was really amazing. Cool. He is amazing.
And I mean it. I really do want to go see them in concert.
Me too, Brooke. I mean, honestly.
Maybe next time he'll put one of us up on stage. I want to be pulled up on stage.
Oh my gosh. I would die. I would faint. I would. Like I felt, you know, when I've gone up to meet new kids, and I don't mean to pull new kids into this, but you know, this is New Kids 80s, 90s
what it is.
Band podcast. My knees get weak and I'm always so nervous that I'm going to faint. Like I'm always so nervous that I'm going to like black out.
But you don't
be embarrassed. You know, that'd be embarrassing.
But you don't. You're
that
okay.
Would be embarrassing. Yeah. So, yeah. Like, and I apologize to you guys. I'm just gonna put this out there for fangirling so much, but it's all real. So
it is. It's 100% real. It is what it is. You
guys know me. You guys that have listened, you know me. You know this is gonna happen. Like, it's Jeff Timmons. I mean. He's a nice.
Come on now.
He's a nice looking gentleman.
He is, and I really love his tattoo. I really love his 98 degrees tattoo.
Me
I think
too.
it's cool. I am with his wife on that. I would be like, you show that off proudly.
I want his wife to come on the podcast. I love her already.
I know. I don't even know her.
Like a really cool chick. Mm-hmm. So we
So
love you out
amazing.
there. Yeah.
And listen, anybody that maybe this triggered a 98 degrees story.
Yes.
Send it to us at mysocalledwhatever@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You know the drill.
All the 98 degrees stories, please.
Yeah, we would love that. And hey, who knows? Maybe we'll get one of the other guys to come on.
Yeah.
And we'll have them read it.
You just never know when it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen every time, but you just never know.
It has happened in the past.
It has. Joey McIntyre. I took a Facebook post. Joey Fatone. This happens.
Yep. So
thank you so much, Jeff. We appreciate you.
Thank you,
if you're
Jeff.
Listening.
And we love you.
Yes, we love you. And seriously, thanks for putting up with my fangirling. I appreciate you.
All right,
thank you guys. Thank you for listening. And We'll be
We'll
loving
see you
you
on the
forever.
the flippity floop.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.